There was so much story there that I'm like, what is happening? Oh no. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Video Village, and welcome if you're new here. Hope you had a great New Year's, great Christmas, that you're ready for the new year, that you're also kind to yourself and not feel like you have to conquer all of 2026 in the early weeks of January. Definitely not telling myself that. Not trying to anyway, though it's been so crazy busy for me in the past couple weeks. I moved house and moved into this new space, which this is going to be my new set. It's definitely not done yet. It's very sparse. As you can see, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with this space and how to make it look a bit more interesting. So I'm going to be dressing it and making it look a little bit more fun. But for now, I'm actually in a space that's all mine, that I have for my set, for my film work, for writing, all of that. I'm super stoked to have a space of my own. It really feels like the next step in, my YouTube channel, but also just in my career in a broader sense. So super proud, super stoked, and just very excited to take you along in that. So I'm probably going to film a short behind the scenes tour of the new studio. It's not much yet, but it's a good start, and very excited to show you. In case you're new here, my name is Manon the Reeper. I'm a filmmaker and writer and mostly dabble in the horror and sci-fi genres, and also occasionally do some documentary work. You can find some of my work here on the channel as well as on Patreon. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I actually have a very fun announcement to make with a sneak preview of what's coming up next week. So stay tuned for that, and in the meantime, let's get into Epica. From what I've seen so far, this looks like a really cool sci-fi video, which sort of doesn't really fit their music style because it's so like gothic rock, which I associate more like historical fiction or fantasy, and for them to kind of go more into that direction of sci-fi, I think is really cool. So I'm very stoked to see what they cooked up. So let's take a look.
Out to explore the moon and instead discover the Earth. Take off in 3, 2, 1, go!
this is so cool and so great in scope. I'm so impressed. Just wanted to pause it here on sort of halfway through and kind of go over what we're seeing so far because there's a lot going on. So yeah, let's just dive into it. Fantastic opening here. It's like it just sets the theme and the vibe immediately. We're in outer space. Really love this moment where she like turns her face to you and says, "Go." Really great. Also wanted to point out the costuming and the hair are amazing in this video. What fantastic work. I love this sort of armor style outfit that she's wearing. Really beautiful necklace here, this choker. The lines of like her body look really great with this as well. It's just, yeah, it has that very, very sort of futuristic look to it. Very beautiful. We're seeing a lot of really emphasized anamorphic flare kind of throughout, and it sort of starts here. And I'll point it out a couple more times where we really see that. You see it here as well as that horizontal line. For those of you that have been here a little longer, I've explained a couple times before like what an anamorphic lens is, but it's basically normally we film, or historically we filmed with spherical lenses, which is also what I'm filming on as well. But anamorphic lenses are more and more common in film productions, and it's become cheaper and cheaper to use for non-film productions as well. So we see them more often, but they've been associated with sci-fi quite a bit, and especially because of the 2012 Star Trek film, where it was, you know, used in a way that was so over the top and so present that it's sort of become a little bit of, you know, a stereotype slash trope almost for sci-fi films to be filmed with anamorphic and have really like prominent all over the place anamorphic flare. It's very cool though, and it fits. And again, it's like, is it a trope or is it just playing with certain genre expectations, right? So in this case, I think it's very cool. And it's especially since with music video, we don't really have dialogue to explain anything, like anything that you can use to really immediately set the tone and the vibe of something, we have to use as filmmakers. So it works really well. So we have these kind of aliens coming to Earth, I think, and it looks like a very dystopian version of Earth or sometime in the future. And there's this sort of Eye of Sauron kind of building here where, you know, or I suppose the Empire, right? So this building where Simone is. So this is the first time she's revealed in the beautiful red makeup and the red costume, which immediately to me feels very Handmaid's Tale. And then of course she is actually being taken captive by these figures. Oh, I love the makeup. It's so pretty. Really, really great job with the makeup. So yeah, we see here that she's being taken captive, and they take her here. Again, I love these outfits. Also, please again note the anamorphic flare here in the foreground. It's also possible that it's not just the anamorphic flare from set and it was actually flaring into the lens. It's also very possible that they added extra flare in post. Sometimes they do that. That's also something that they did in Star Trek as well, in that, you know, film where that all started. Because I don't actually see what's flaring into the lens here. So it's possible they added some of that. I'll also point out how much these masks sort of made me feel like I was watching something out of Star Wars. Very cool, but a little bit more dystopian, I guess, which, well, if you know me at all, I love anything dystopian. So this is hitting all the right spots for me. It's really, really lovely. I love the lighting. I love how her red outfit really stands out so much in this really blue-toned, very cold space. As well as her hair, by the way. Like, she's the only thing here that's warm-toned. And of course, that's sort of criminalized here, or implied to be. This guy kind of gave me a bit of a predator vibe, or like a bounty hunter or something. Again, note the anamorphic flare, which if I'm looking at it now looks exactly the same as it did in the opening shots with her speaking instead of singing. So I'm definitely thinking this was added in post. Very cool effect though. Yeah, really, really enjoying also the performance and this location. I wonder if, I don't think it's a set. It looks a little bit too big to be a set, like a built set for a music video. Like I cannot imagine that they would have been able to build something quite so big. So I wonder if this is an actual building where they shot this, because it looks so cool. As always, I'm very curious to see or to hear and find out where something was shot. If this is because this feels like such an incredible location. Okay, so here I actually see a dead giveaway for this actually being shot with anamorphic, which is the bokeh here in the background is sort of oval rather than round. So with a spherical lens, the bokeh would be round, circular. And when it is oval like that, that's because with anamorphic, the video that or the image that you shoot is very stretched. And so when it's pushed back into like a normal aspect ratio into normal format, the bokeh gets smushed. So that's why it's oval. So yes, it was actually shot with an anamorphic lens, but I also think that they added some extra, flair in post. Let's also talk about some of these incredible visuals that have, they've been generated in VFX altogether. Like, they look absolutely spectacular. The city looks great, like all these cityscapes. Absolutely love this. What a great job. Oh, and here we get a little bit of a better look of the environment here. I still feel like this might be a real place, but I might also be wrong. It is very possible that they built a set and kind of were able to shoot it in such a way that it looks bigger than it actually was. I'd love to know if someone knows. But that's absolutely stunning. This is also just a fantastic shot. It feels like it could be straight out of like Blade Runner, Minority Report, all of those kind of classic sci-fi movies. Really, 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 really cool. So they're placing this, they're placing this sort of red mask on her face, which feels like it's sort of inducing sleep. But I kind of had to chuckle a little bit because I am aware of current beauty trends where these sorts of... My friend has one of these. They're red light masks that are supposed to be kind of anti-aging, and they absolutely make you look like a serial killer. And I think it's such a cool way to use like an actual real life prop that has a very different purpose and use it as, a sleep mask sort of here. So I think that's really, really smart. Again, these look absolutely spectacular. She's being brought to this location where she is then, I think, being put into this bath. Or I was getting a little bit lost here in terms of like the timeline, whether this was the location or if this is where she was being brought to and she's like being put on ice, or if she is being put somewhere else and this is like the other sort of separate timeline. So I actually wanted to start it here, go back a little bit, repeat this part, and I will check back in with you at the very end.
In every moment we will find signs of the day.
Oh, wow.
Fight.
No. Shit, I want more. There was so much story there that I'm like, what is happening? Oh, no. That feels like a novel. Damn. So, first things first, I did understand the part correctly where she was like being put into this water by the actual captors, right? So that was definitely happening. They were being like, they were running tests on her or something like that. At the same time, this like green environment was shown to us, like revealed for the first time. We hadn't really been in a green space before, so I thought that was really cool tonally to sort of reveal that on like the mid part of the video. And just what a great look. Absolutely love this. Love the color grading here. I love the lighting in this scene. Love some of the VFX we got here with like the sparking, whatever that is, some sort of device. And they're running some tests on this guy, and that turns out to be the other singer of Epica. So thought that was really, really wonderful. Got a smoke machine running here somewhere. Really, 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 really cool. Whoops. And then, it's going back and forth between his face and the mask, so it's clear that he is inside that thing. And then she, like, the water turns black, her eyes go white, and she starts sort of shaking in the water. Again, really cool, really, really cool. And yeah, I felt like, we saw her in the opening with those green horizontal lines, and here the green lines are more vertical. And then it feels like it was really good foreshadowing towards this part where it's revealed that there's like 3 versions of her now. They must have been cloning her to make more of her towards some sort of evil master plan. I'm not entirely sure, but I absolutely love this. I love the editing in this video, especially in this part where really cool effects. And then this part, I love this part. Such a great job in showing, the 3 of them. Very cool. Very cool. Very creative. I mean, it's relatively easy to do this in post. I've actually done it in a video as well, which is coming out soon. And it's well done here, though. So cool. Absolutely love this part with the portal and everything. Okay, so she goes through, and then these 2 other figures, they follow. The people that made this must have been sci-fi fans, like myself, because this felt very Stargate. Love this portal. And then this guy goes through, and we have this animation, which to me felt very Stargate, right? So they appear on the other side, and I'm not sure where they are. I will say this to me looks very Dutch, the architecture. So I'm sure this was filmed in the Netherlands by a Dutch production company, and I'm really keen to find out who did it and who was involved on this. But they're now arriving, and they look very classically dressed, and like they're both from the future and the past in the way that they're dressing. It's very cool. Really, 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 really love that. And then they go into this space, and she's revealed to be some sort of nature figure. Man, this part confused me. Right? So here she is revealed to be like this is where they arrive, and she is sitting here. She lifts her head. We get closer and closer and closer as she lifts her head, and we know that it's her. Someone tell me what this is, because I have no idea, and I think it's really cool, and I want to know more. Quickly going to take a look at who created this video. Okay, so yes, definitely shot in the Netherlands by Dutch people. I'm gonna take a little closer look at that for just because I'm interested, but something that definitely stood out to me is that the director is very involved in post-production as well, in the color grade, as well as VFX design, and just and he also edited it as well, Remko Tielemans. There was an AI advisor and additional VFX design, and I'm so curious to hear if they used AI for the VFX, because that was a very, very successful way of doing it, in my opinion. So I'd be very curious to hear more about how they did that out of sheer interest, but also because I want to learn. So, oh, and what's so cool is that I see in the credits here is that they actually call the portal that we saw, they call it the Stargate and Wormhole VFX. So obviously very referential, right? So just absolutely wonderful. Really, really great job. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And in the meantime, please enjoy this trailer of the music video that I'm releasing next week called Radiant Choice, which I shot with a friend, just me and her, and I did basically everything in New York City a couple years ago, and we're finally releasing it to the world. I am so proud of this and can't wait to share it with you, so please enjoy this trailer. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this, like the video so we can reach more people, check out my Patreon, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.